Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Hershey High School broadcasters presentation of Hershey High School sports. Tonight, we have the last Hershey boys basketball home game of the 2022-23 regular season. It's the Hershey Trojans taking on Greencastle-Antrim. The Trojans come in number 9 in 5A, District 3. Meanwhile, Greencastle-Antrim sits a little bit lower at number 12. Both teams, as of now, are playoff teams. That could obviously change, especially for Greencastle-Antrim, if they don't win tonight. For Hershey, they're looking to secure themselves a home playoff game if they win today and tomorrow. But they must win tonight, and if not, they will be playing on the road to start the playoffs. Currently, it's the introductions, Greencastle coming out first.
Forward, 6'1" senior, number 13, Adam Hurst. And at guard, a 6'5" junior, number 14, Connor Wright. The Blue Devils are coached by Todd Stevens. And now here is the starting lineup for your Hershey Trojans. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 3, Marcus Sweeney. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 11, Matthew DeDonatis. At guard, a 6' senior, number 20, Jake Moyer. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 31, Joey Allender. And at forward, a 6'4" senior, number 55, A.J. Slammons. The Trojans are coached by Paul Blackburn. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as we honor America, those that have served and those currently serving, with the playing of our national anthem.
We're just about ready to go here at Hershey High School. Hershey, just like they were on last Tuesday, senior night, running out a lineup of all seniors to start this game. A nice little touch as these men wrap up their high school careers and head off to college. Before this game was Teacher Appreciation Night, where every senior got to pick a teacher that made a massive impact on their lives and introduce them before the game and say a few kind words. So that was a nice little touch. Hershey running out the starting five. Three that have been starting the entire season: Marcus Sweeney, Matthew DeDonatis, and Joey Allender. A.J. Slammons and Jake Moyer come to start this game. Normally they start on the bench.
Practice good sportsmanship and enjoy tonight's game. The officials for this evening's contest.
Pretty evenly sized matchup. And here we go, just about ready to go. And we are away. Greencastle wins the tip, and it'll be Surzano Solomon to walk it up. Logan Alvey kicks to Eli Sterling in the corner, doesn't hit, rebounded by Marcus Sweeney, Hershey's point guard. Ahead to DeDonatis driving and laying it in. DeDonatis, Hershey's leading scorer, led the team in scoring last game as well with 19 against East Pennsboro. DeDonatis has been Hershey's guy the entire season. Here's Solomon working again, and over to Sterling. Solomon trying to drive inside and puts up the jumper, doesn't go. DeDonatis kicks it out to Sweeney, and Sweeney's away. To Moyer in the corner. And here's Sweeney running offense. Jake Moyer now. Back to the top to DeDonatis. Sweeney in the corner to Allender, thought about shooting. He's going to pull it back to Moyer. Sweeney gets called for the traveling violation. Rare for him, generally a very clean point guard, a great assist-to-turnover ratio. Might go down as Hershey's leading assister in school history. He's been a 4-year starter for the Trojans. Here's Moyer guarding Alvey. Sterling now trying to drive, floats it up, no good. Slammons with the uncontested rebound. Ahead to DeDonatis now. Here's Sweeney again. Sweeney down to Allender, gets drive blocked, but fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot two. Adam Hurst, the senior, with the foul. And Allender's going to shoot two. First is good. Can't quite hit the second. No one can quite claim it, and here's Sterling who comes away with it. Alvey. Moyer playing good defense. Back up top to the big man, Connor Wright. Wright has it now, trying to acrobatic layup. Gets it back himself and puts it up and in. First points for Greencastle. Here's Jake Moyer now, AJ Slammons, and DeMarcus Sweeney, the point guard. DeDonatis has an open three. He'll take that all day, and he goes in and out. Unfortunate for DeDonatis. And here's Sterling. Alvey looking like he's going to match up against Moyer for most of this game. Alvey thought about shooting, pulls it back, and now he does. In and out. Wright tried to save that, but can't quite, and so it'll be a Hershey ball to inbound. It looks like Eli Sterling's going to play full court defense on Marcus Sweeney as he walks it up. Sweeney kicks to DeDonatis, who drives, finds a nice little pass inside to AJ Slammons, who lays it in for two. Slammons hasn't played much this year at all. Often games where he doesn't come off the bench at all, but he's seen these last two games as a starter because of the senior recognition that Hershey's doing, and it's very nice for him to get some points. Sterling tried to get the ball in there to Wright, and it got tipped away by Sweeney, but not without a reach and foul.
Marcus Sweeney, that's his first personal, first team foul.
Again, the Hershey High School broadcaster has been running a few broadcasts of Hershey High School sports this year, and we will do more next year. I'm Joey Owsley. I'll be doing this solo. Ball gets inbounded, and here's Horst. Horst working on Allender. He gets the shot to go, but it is a traveling violation, so it won't count. Some good defense being played early by the Trojans. That's been their bread and butter all season, good team defense. DeDonatis, Moyer at the top, and here's Sweeney. Sweeney kicks to Allender, who's going to take a three. Off the rim, no good. Moyer rebounds and gets fouled. Already the Trojans grabbing a few offensive rebounds. And Moyer will go to the line to shoot two. Moyer makes the first. A player who doesn't often score, but is often a role player, plays good defense, good passer of the ball. He misses the second, bounces around, and referees say it will be Hershey's ball. Greencastle not happy about that, but Hershey will come away with it, and Marcus Sweeney will inbound. Back to Moyer. Coach Blackburn was saying for Hershey that Moyer is a leader in so many ways, not just what he does on the court, but off it. Meanwhile, DiDonatis misses the free throw line jumper, and Solomon comes away with it, driving on Allender, loses it, and the Greencastle will still have it on the inbound, knocked away. Sterling will inbound. A quick one to Wright, who pulls up, misses. Moyer can't grab the rebound, and it'll be out for a Greencastle inbound. Solomon's going to throw it in. A little tangle between the Greencastle players, but Sterling comes away with it. Here's Solomon driving on Allender, who takes the charge. Joey Allender has been taking so many charges this year for the Trojans, by far the team's leader in taking fouls. Moyer and Slammons will check out for Logan Richards and Eamon Callahan, the two other starters that normally begin the game for Hershey. Allender will walk up the ball on right. Here's Callahan, the Trojans' really big, only big man. Allender to DiDonatis in the corner. And here's Richards. Allender now kicks out to DiDonatis, who has an open three, and he buries it. Matthew DiDonatis will take those all day. The Trojans' leading scorer tacks on 3, and Trojans are back up by 1 with 3.5 left in the first quarter. Here's Solomon. Driving, tries to float it over Callahan, can't quite get it to go, but he gets his own rebound. They're going to call the Trojans for a reach and foul as Solomon was driving there. So it'll be an inbound for Greencastle.
Second team foul. Returning for the Blue Devils, number 10, Logan Alvey.
It'll be Blake Shadow to inbound. Player who came in off the bench. Out to Wright, who's going to try his luck from 3. No good. Allender grabs the rebound. He'll walk it up himself. Guarded tightly by Shadow. Over to Callahan, and now Richards in the corner. Tries to throw it into Allender. Gets knocked away, and it'll be Greencastle ball. Good defense there from Shadow. He is a senior for Greencastle. Looks like it'll be the battle of the threes all night. Sterling and Sweeney going at it. Here's Wright now. Drives in, tries to find a pass on the baseline. He threw it off the back of the backboard. It's ruled as out of bounds, and so the Trojans will have the ball to inbound. Trojans dictating their game early. Sorry, there was earlier a scoreboard mishap. It's 9-2 to the Trojans. Sweeney throws up a shot, and Callahan grabs the rebound but can't handle it. Now it's Sterling coming away, gets past Richards, and an easy layup. Yeah, earlier there was a scoreboard malfunction in the gym, which caused our scoreboard to be off. It's now 9-4 to the Trojans. Here's Callahan. Allender in the corner, kicks to DiDonatis, another open 3, and he buries it again. The Trojans have been excellent finding DiDonatis off the screen, and he's buried 2 early 3-pointers that see the Trojans go up by 8 with about 2 minutes left in the first period. Here's Shadow working on Richards on the sideline. He did step out, but the referees are going to say that Richards pushed him out, and so it'll be a foul on Richards and Greencastle's ball to inbound. Isaiah Danner and Cameron Sweeney checking in for the Trojans. 2 players that often come off the bench for the Trojans. Here's Solomon working on DiDonatis. Kicks to Sterling, now guarded by Marcus's brother Cam. Solomon again, tries to drive, didn't get it to go. Sweeney comes away with it, up to DiDonatis, who misses the layup. Very rare that Matthew DiDonatis misses a layup in transition. But here's Solomon now. Over to Wright, double teamed. Working on Danner. Tries to find a pass, it's knocked away by Richards, and it'll stay with Greencastle. The play so often this season has been Marcus Sweeney throwing it ahead to Matthew DiDonatis in transition and DiDonatis laying it in. So a pretty rare occurrence for DiDonatis not to make a transition layup. Solomon tries to throw it into right. It was knocked away by Danner, but he gets it back. Kicks out in the corner to Alvey, who tries his luck from 3 and knocks it in. First three-pointer for Greencastle. Still down by 5, though, as we approach the end of the first quarter. And here's Logan Richards working on Alvey. Back up top to Callahan. DiDonatis now. Cameron Sweeney. Callahan working on Shadow. Inside to DiDonatis. Some good defense being played by Greencastle. Trojans trying to find a shot, and they are unable to. Matthew tries to throw it in to Isaiah Danner, but gets knocked away, and Greencastle will come away with it. And here's Wright working on Danner. Gets around him, kicks out for 3. Solomon with a little shot fake. Tries to put it up. He misses, but the referees are going to call a foul on Isaiah Danner. Coach Paul Blackburn for the Trojans not happy about that at all.
His first personal, 4th team foul.
Neither team in the bonus yet, but because it was a shooting foul, Greencastle's going to go to the line. Solomon shooting 2.
Checking in for the Trojans, number 33, Alex Murray.
Alex Murray checking in for the Trojans. Solomon misses the second and comes away with it finally. And it's going to be a hold on Hershey. So Solomon, even though he missed the second, grabs his own rebound from the free throw and draws yet another foul on the Trojans. That's a good piece of hustle by Solomon.
His first personal, 5th team foul.
Solomon throws in. I don't think Wright was expecting that, and Danner comes away with it. Richards is going to walk it up now, and we'll see if the Trojans try and hold for a final shot. Here's Richards now. Throws it inside to Sweeney, who wasn't expecting it, but strong and comes away with it. And now Richards is definitely going to hold for the Trojans to have a final shot here in this first quarter. Now under 10 seconds left. Here's Sweeney working on Sterling. Cam Sweeney, I don't think realizes the time that he has. Richards is first to throw up a shot. It doesn't go. And so it'll be Hershey 12, Greencastle-Antrim 8 at the end of the first quarter. For the Trojans, a pretty solid half of basketball, though they did have a few moments of shakiness, like that moment at the end where it seemed like Sweeney was unaware of the time he had left in the quarter. For Greencastle, a pretty solid first quarter as well, though they have been a little sloppy with turnovers. Pretty even rebounding game so far. Now for the Trojans, they have been known to take leads in the first quarter and give them up after the first timeout or in the second quarter. So we'll see how they come out here in the second quarter and try to respond to that the first period, which sees them up 4 points. And again, coming into this game, it was going to be a pretty good matchup the entire way. Hershey coming in 14-6, Greencastle-Antrim 13-7. Hershey 9th and Greencastle 12th in the power rankings. So pretty evenly matched teams as we approach the playoff season. Greencastle would probably be safe to make the playoffs even with a loss, though they can guarantee their spot with a win. This is their last game of the season. The Trojans have a rescheduled game against rival Lower Dauphin tomorrow, so that should be an interesting game. As we start the second quarter, Murray kicks to Richards, open for 3, and he drains it. Not even 15 seconds into the second period. It is Richards who drains a 3, and Hershey leads by 7. Some good defense by Hershey, knocks it away, but now it's Alvey and Solomon driving in on Callahan. Takes the bump, but the shot doesn't go. Danner comes away with it, and now Sweeney will walk it up for the Trojans. Kicks to Richards, and here's Callahan now. Up to the top to Alex Murray, a 3-point specialist for the Trojans. Richards threw it in to Danner, but the referees are going to rule a push on Wright. So Hershey will get the inbound. Connor Wright, the largest player on the court besides Isaiah Danner, He is only a junior, though, so he'll be back next year for the Blue Devils. Sweeney tried to quick throw it into Callahan, but he doesn't get the layup to go. Sweeney throws into Danner now. Out to Callahan for a three. The big man can't hit, and Wright will rebound. Eamon Callahan's been trying his luck a little more from three recently. Out to Alvey now, guarded by Richards. Here's Sterling, gets the screen, puts the shot up over Cameron Sweeney, and hits. And Richards is going to walk it up on Shadone. Richards drives, gets by him. A little loose with the ball. Referee's going to rule a personal foul on Alvey, and so Hershey will have the ball to inbound. The three senior starters coming back in for the Trojans: Marcus Sweeney, Matthew DiDonatis, and Joey Allender. Murray, Callahan, and Richards checking out. Here's Danner. Up top to DiDonatis. Cam practices to his brother Marcus. And back up top again to Allender. Allender finds the open three from Sweeney and hits it. It's an assist for Marcus Sweeney, a three for Joey Allender, and the Trojans lead by 8. About 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Here's Solomon now working on Allender. Joey Allender, the Trojans' best defender. Up top, the threes working on each other, Sweeney and Sterling. Sterling gets across a screen, finds Alvey, who hits the three over DiDonatis. Apologies, that was Shadone with the three. Sweeney for DiDonatis now, and up top to Isaiah Danner. Over to Marcus Sweeney, who doesn't often try his luck from three. And here's Cameron. Isaiah Danner not being guarded at the top. I'm not sure he's taking a three all season. DiDonatis working off a screen, tries the baseline jumper, doesn't get it to go. Danner being guarded with three, gets it to go, and one. That's a play where you can't teach size. Isaiah Danner going over top of three defenders and knocking in the basket. And he'll try and tack on the extra free throw.
16 foul. Number 10, Logan Alvey in for the Blue Devils. Isaiah Danner, shooting one.
On the next foul, Hershey will be in the bonus. Danner knocks in the free throw, completes the three-point play. And now Sterling will walk it up on Marcus Sweeney. Trojans lead by 8. Solomon working on Allender. A quick steal by Marcus Sweeney, who's going to push the tempo up court. Euro step. Some good defense by Solomon, who got his hand in there to knock it away. It'll stay with Hershey. Sweeney is an incredibly strong player, though. Football player. So that was a good piece of defense by Solomon to stop the transition after his turnover. Timeout, a 30-second timeout by Greencastle. Pretty small turnout by the Hershey crowd tonight. Certainly compared to Tuesday's game against East Pennsboro, when this gym was packed, the student section was basically full to the brim. Again, this is Greencastle-Antrim's last game of the season, so they have one more chance to make an impression before playoffs. For Hershey, they will be at Lower Dauphin tomorrow. That game will be televised. That'll be at not on our channel, unfortunately. That will be at Lower Dauphin tomorrow. That game was a makeup game. It was supposed to happen right before the Christmas break, but a weather cancellation forced that to be the last game of the season. For Lower Dauphin, their chances of the playoffs are basically zero at this point, so for the Trojans, they will just have to see it through. Restarting now, Sweeney doesn't get the inbound in successfully, and Solomon will come away with it. Now Cameron Sweeney working defensively, and Solomon's back to the top working on Allender. Jordan Hunt, number 12, is checked in for the Blue Devils of Greencastle. And here's Alvey working on DiDonatis. Sterling now looking for a pass, and he finds Solomon in the corner. Solomon trying to drive. Can't find anything. Good hands by Cameron Sweeney to knock it away. They're going to rule that Allender traveled. He threw it ahead to Cameron Sweeney to try and get the Trojans out and running. But the referee explaining that when he turned, took too many steps, And so Greencastle will have it back. Was a steal by Cameron Sweeney. Another very, very solid defender for the Trojans. If you want to find a good defensive basketball team, I don't think you have to look any further than Hershey. So many players that can play absolutely excellent defense on the ball and off it. Ooh, a little inbound play. Alvey throws it up to Wright, who gets the lay-in to go. That was very smoothly done. A 6-point game now. Marcus kicks to his brother Cam. Working on Hunt. DiDonatis with a semi-open three. He doesn't get it to go, though. Marcus Sweeney, what a rebound among 4 players. He won't get the lane to go, but he does draw a foul. That's a good piece of individual strength from Marcus Sweeney. Sweeney, apart from being the Trojans' point guard and a star on the basketball court, was a star on the gridiron as well. Led Hershey with over 1,000 all-purpose yards and double-digit touchdowns in football. And recently announced his commitment to Shippensburg University. Marcus Sweeney missed the first, shooting the second. Doesn't get that one to go either. But Eamon Callahan grabs the offensive rebound. Fights through the contact and gets it back out to DiDonatis, who gets it back now and tries to float it up from the baseline. He gets it to go. Halfway through in the second quarter, Hershey leads by 8. Solomon kicks to Alvey. Alvey trying to work on DiDonatis and finds Wright. Posting up against Callahan, gets the reverse lay-in to go. Wright's looks solid so far for Greencastle, one of their leading scorers so far in this early contest. Here's Sweeney. DiDonatis now trying to work off a screen. Callahan at the top, and here's Allender working against Wright. An offensive foul is going to be whistled against Eamon Callahan. He's not happy about that. They're going to say, refs are going to say that he contacted a Blue Devils player when he was coming through.
His first personal, 6th team foul.
Greencastle's now in the bonus as well, so teams will have a one-on-one for the rest of the half. Shadoan working on Moyer. He gets it down to Wright, who gets the basket to go. Blackburn chewing out the referee. There was a yellow, that's illegal, when Showdown threw in the ball to Wright. Blackburn clearly not happy about something with the referees. He then subsequently called a 30-second timeout. And the Trojans' lead is still 4 as it was at the end of the first period. Just over 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Greencastle-Antrim is a mid-pen opponent for the Trojans. They're in the Colonial Division, which consists of mainly southern Pennsylvania teams. They play teams such as Waynesboro, Gettysburg, so pretty close to the Maryland border. Their last game was a 56-28 loss at Waynesboro, so literally getting doubled up. But Waynesboro is a top 4 team in 6A, so they lost to a very good opponent. As we restart here, DiDonatis kicks to a wide-open Allender for 3, who can't hit. Shooting's been the part of the game that Allender's been trying to improve on this season. Solomon walks it up, kicks it to Wright in the corner. The big man can't hit from 3, and Allender comes away with the rebound. Definitely a size mismatch with Wright if he's going to go out on the perimeter. Moore throws to DiDonatis now in the corner, and him and Sweeney are going to try and work. He throws over to Allender, shot fake, drives in, takes contact, and a foul called. Tried to Euro step, didn't get the lane to go, but he'll shoot 2. Was a shooting foul.
Blue Devils foul on number 20, Blake Shadoan, his second personal, 8th team foul.
Allender hits the first free throw. He's pretty consistent generally from the line.
At the line for the Trojans, shooting one more, number 31, Joey Allender.
And he hits the second as well. So Hershey leads by 6 with 2.5 left in the second quarter. And here's Sterling working on Sweeney. Trojans try and double, but Solomon gets out of that. Greencastle works it around to Shadoan in the corner, who hits the 3. Good play by Greencastle, good team passing. Trojans going to try and do some of the same now. Callahan throws into DiDonatis, who hits the lay-in.
Matthew DiDonatis.
Hershey's going to call a timeout now.
Timeout, Trojans.
It's going to be a full timeout. So some good pieces of offense by both teams. It's probably the best sequence of team passing that we've seen from Greencastle all game. For DiDonatis doing a little bit of it by himself. Either way, though, Hershey leads by 5. These teams have only played one shared opponent. It's Mifflin County. Hershey beat Mifflin County 75-59 last week and 59-33 earlier this season. Meanwhile, in the very first game of the season, Greencastle was away to Mifflin County. They also won by 11 points. So both these teams picking up wins against the Huskies of the North. But besides that, these two teams don't really have anything to compare themselves with. So it was a bit of an unknown coming into this game, and we've had a pretty even contest so far. Again, just to remind you of the stakes, Greencastle sits 12th right now in 5A, and they will probably make the playoffs even with a loss. This is their final game of the season, but they really need a win if they want to secure themselves a spot. And for Hershey, they sit 9th, which is not a home game seed. The top 8 in the 5A get home games, so Hershey needs to really win these last 2 games if they want any hope of a home game to start their district playoffs. Here's right now, off of the timeout, it's Solomon now working on Allender. Trojans try and double, but with Allender and Sweeney, their 2 best defenders, Solomon can't work through it, and here's Moyer now. Allender kicks out to DiDonatis, thought about it, but back up top to Callahan, Sweeney, and Moyer now. Back to DiDonatis. Good piece of defense from the Trojans led into this offense. And DiDonatis hands off to Sweeney, who can't find anything. Here's Moyer now. Callahan finds the Trojans' leading scorer, DiDonatis. Kicks to Allender. Thought about a 3, doesn't try it. Sweeney's going to try and drive. Kicks to a wide open Callahan for 3, doesn't hit. Solomon grabbed the rebound, and it looks like the refs are going to call a foul on Joey Allender as he was challenging Solomon for the rebound. The Blue Devils are in the bonus, as are the Trojans, and so Solomon's going to shoot a 1-and-1 with 1:15 left in the half. And it looks like the Trojans are pretty content to run the starting 5 out for the rest of the half. All seniors but the junior Eamon Callahan.
In for the Trojans, number 10, Logan Richards.
And it seems like the commentators curse just as I say that. Richards and Danner check in for Callahan and Moyer. He misses the first. After a difficult contest, Sweeney comes away with it, and here's Joey Allender. Allender finds Richards, thought about a deep 3. He doesn't take it, though. And here's Sweeney again, driving, kicking to DiDonatis, who can't hit the 3. A good piece of hustle from Marcus Sweeney knocks it off Shadoan, and Hershey will have the inbound. It looked like that was going to go out for a Greencastle inbound, if not for the hustle by Marcus Sweeney. Here's Richards now driving in, trying to find something over Shadoan. He picked up his pivot foot, and it'll be a travel on Logan Richards. Here's Sterling working on Sweeney. There might be 2 possessions, maybe 3 left in this half. 40 seconds left now. He throws it in to Horst. A jump ball will be called. The possession arrow will say that the ball stays with the Greencastle Blue Devils, excuse me. Sterling kicks to right hits the 3. A good piece of inbound play. Wright was coming off the screen, which is why he was so wide open to kick that 3. It's a 2-point lead for the Trojans, and the Greencastle fans making some noise here with 20 seconds left in the half. And as they often do, the Trojans aren't going to rush anything, and they're going to hold it for the final shot. We can see if they can be more successful than they were at the end of the first quarter. Marcus Sweeney now under 10 seconds, working on Sterling. 5 now. He's going to drive, kick to Allender, tries the deep three, and gets it to go at the buzzer. Joey Allender hits the buzzer beater three right before the half, and the Trojans will take a 5-point lead into halftime. They tack on a lead of 1 from their first quarter margin, so the Trojans will lead by 5 as we head into the break. Good piece of offense there by the Trojans to close out the half. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back at the start of the second half. We might try and get you an interview, too, with Hershey coach Paul Blackburn, so we'll see what we can do on that front. But for now, your score, Hershey 30, Greencastle 25 as we head into the half. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Just about to start the second half. Hershey holding on to a 5-point lead right now over Greencastle. A pretty slim margin, all things being considered, for the Trojans. They've led most teams by more at this point in the game. We weren't able to get a halftime interview, but we'll try and get something after the conclusion of the game. Allender's going to start the second half with an open three. He doesn't hit it, and we're off and running. Sterling tried to cross-court pass. DiDonatis almost stole it, waited for it to go out of bounds, but the refs are going to rule that it will stay with Greencastle. Greencastle running out their starting five, as are the Trojans, to start the second half. Here's Wright working on Slammons. The big men draw contact. Slammons called for the foul, and Wright will head to the line for two shots.
That's his first team foul of the second half. Connor Wright at the line for the Blue Devils, shooting two.
Wright will hit the first. Wright, the junior, big man for the Blue Devils. Here's the second. He hits it too. So a 3-point lead now for the Trojans. Marcus Sweeney on Sterling. That was the story for most of the first half, and so far it looks the same. An offensive foul going to be whistled. We'll see who it's on.
Against the Trojans, number 55, AJ.
So AJ Slammons call for the offensive foul. The Trojans will turn it over. And here's Sterling again. Eli Sterling, also a junior. And here's Serzano Solomon. Throws it into Wright. Down low to Horst. DiDonatis blocks him. Allender grabbed the rebound. It was swatted away by Solomon. So the Trojans will have it on the inbound now. And here's Sweeney working on Sterling. Tries to get around the screen. We'll put up the jumper, and it's blocked. So now Sterling out in transition. Kicks to Solomon, wide open for three, and he hits. We're tied up. So just over a minute into the second half, and Greencastle has tied this game for the very first time. Allender over to Moyer now. Moyer working on Alvey. Here's Allender back to Moyer. And here's Sweeney now. Joey Allender throws it into Matthew DiDonatis, DiDonatis trying to find a shot over Solomon. He does. It was a forced shot, and it's no good. When Solomon grabbed the rebound, it wasn't clean. The ref is going to whistle for a traveling violation. No one on Greencastle seems to be happy about that, but it'll be Trojans' ball. Sweeney gets it into DiDonatis, who can't get the quick layup to go. That's been a bread and butter for the Trojans the entire season, the quick inbound to a layup. They have multiple plays of how to, drop a clean inbound. That one just didn't go on the shot. Here's Solomon now working on DiDonatis. Solomon drives, can't get the lay-in to go, though. Allender hits it out to Sterling, who drives again, and it doesn't get the layup to go. When Slammons grabbed the rebound, he threw it to Allender, whose back of his right foot was out of bounds, and so it'll be a turnover for Hershey. That's one of the worst ways to lose the ball. You just got the rebound, and now you give it right back. Sterling throws it into Wright, working on Slammons. The turnaround floater doesn't go, and Alvey grabs the offensive rebound. He throws it up. It doesn't go off the front rim. So the Blue Devils having no offensive luck, but they kept grabbing offensive rebounds, and now the Trojans finally come away with it. Allender now and Moyer at the top. Here's Marcus Sweeney. Sweeney kicks to Allender. Moyer tries to throw it into DiDonatis. A strong play by Solomon, but he stepped out, and so Hershey will retain possession. Murray and Danner in for the Trojans. Slammons and Jake Moyer out. Danner, the biggest guy that the Trojans have to offer. I think he's about 6'7". Offensive lineman. Defensive lineman for football. Plays some tight end too. Trying to work on Horst, throws it up off the rim. Solomon grabs the rebound. Throws it ahead, but that's a careless pass, easily intercepted by DiDonatis, who's going to take his time. Allender kicks to Murray in the corner. The sharpshooter tries his luck from three, doesn't hit, and the rebound ends up with Wright. And Solomon now against Allender. A deep three for Shadoan, and he doesn't hit either. That was a very deep three to try very early in the possession, too. I'm not sure that's what the coach would have wanted for Greencastle. Here's Allender at the top. Into Isaiah Danner. He likes these one-on-one situations. Horst takes the bump, doesn't get called for a foul, and so it's an easy lay-in for Isaiah Danner. Hershey finally able to score some points and takes back the lead by a narrow 2-point margin. Out to a wide-open Wright for three. He misses yet another three. He's not been lucky from three at all, though it's not been for lack of trying. The rebound was grabbed by Horst, but he steps out, and so the Trojans will have it. Quite a few moments now of, very narrow out-of-bounds decisions. Allender throws it ahead to Murray, who thought about a very early three in the possession. But the Trojans recycle it back to Sweeney, and now Murray again, who does hit it, but he doesn't make it. And so it'll be Shadoan coming away. Up to Sterling, trying to get a reverse layup, but blocked by Allender. It'll be out for a Greencastle inbound. Good piece of defensive play by Joey Allender to stop the quick transition layup. Solomon throws it in to Sterling now, working against Sweeney as always. Another call of illegal from Coach Blackburn. I'm not sure what he wanted there. That ball was tipped by the Trojans, and so Greencastle will have it again on the inbound. Solomon back up top to Sterling now. And back to Solomon. Bit of lull in the action. He's going at a rapid pace there for a couple minutes. Here's Horst now. Kicks to a wide open Shadoan, and he hits. DiDonatis wasn't able to get out in time, and unless I'm mistaken, that's the first lead of the game for Greencastle. They're up by 1 with about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's Allender in the corner now. Marcus Sweeney working on Sterling. Sweeney finds Murray, who almost decided to hit the three, but he doesn't. Now it's Murray in the corner. Sweeney to DiDonatis. DiDonatis back up top to Murray, who will try his luck from three, and he doesn't hit. He's 0 for 2 from three now. An offensive foul called on Isaiah Danner. Got a little too ambitious when reaching in for that rebound. Third foul of the half by the Trojans. Alex Murray has been pretty good from three for the Trojans. A volume shooter from three, but hasn't hit that many as of late. Here's Shadoan working on Solomon. Sorry, passes to Solomon, and here's Sterling now working on Sweeney. Solomon on Allender, trying to throw it in. Quick hands by Joey Allender. That's one of his main specialties. But he knocks out of bounds, and so it will be Greencastle ball. Murray's going to check out. Derek Guzman checks in, another junior for the Trojans. Murray famously was the one who drew the foul and then hit the free throw to beat Lower Dauphin at the buzzer. That's kind of his defining moment, and quite frankly, the team's defining moment of the season. Applause for the assistant Greencastle coach who cleaned up the floor. Love to see it. Shadoan throws it into Solomon. That's too big. Because it was an inbound, it's allowed to go in the backcourt for the Blue Devils, though a pretty unorthodox way to throw in a ball. Here's Solomon now. Throws it down low to Horst, who tries a reverse layup but can't quite get it to go. It was Isaiah Danner who was challenging. It's hard to put it over top of a 6'7" frame. Sweeney kicks it out now to Allender. Allender up top to Derek Guzman, who was wide open from three. I think he would have tried that if he saw that he was that wide open. DiDonatis down low to Isaiah Danner, who lays it in, and the Trojans have the lead back It's a 1-point lead with about 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Solomon tried to throw the pass forward, though it was called for a hold before any of the ensuing action. And so it's the fourth foul of the half by the Trojans. Greencastle still without a foul called against them in this half. So a major foul imbalance. We'll see if that plays any part as we head into the fourth quarter. But Solomon throws it a long inbound to right, working on Danner. Can't get around him, throws it away to Marcus Sweeney. Fumbles it and gets it back ahead to DeDonatis, who lays it up in transition, doesn't get it to go, but the foul. DeDonatis will shoot 2. That's more like it from the Trojans. Like I said earlier, Sweeney throwing it ahead to DeDonatis. A little acrobatic play and draws either the contact or the basket. Often he's able to get both. First foul of the half by Greencastle, and DeDonatis will have the chance to shoot 2. Makes the first one to extend the lead to 2. Definitely closer, than the Trojans would have liked to have it. A Hershey assistant was quite confident about this game coming in, which, I mean, you have to be if you're a coach and you're on the Hershey staff, but still, I'm not sure this is exactly how they would like for it to be playing out. A few too many mistakes, I know, for Coach Paul Blackburn's liking. DeDonatis hit the second free throw, by the way, and so the Trojans up by 3. Shadoan going to draw the foul on Derek Guzman. So Greencastle almost in the bonus with an entire quarter left to play in the second half. So that's definitely a positive situation for them as it's such a close game. Shadoan driving, makes the basket and 1. It's Guzman's second foul in quick succession on Shadoan. A strong play by the senior. And he has a chance to tie it up now. Shadoan knocks it in, and we're back to all square. A minute left now in the third quarter. Sweeney ahead to Guzman. Guzman to Sweeney. Drives. Ooh, a very acrobatic play. A little up and under by Marcus Sweeney to get the basket. Such a quick player, such an agile player. The new Shippensburg University commit. Sweeney will be called for a foul, though, on Sterling. And lo and behold, the Blue Devils are already in the bonus. And so they'll be shooting 1-1 for the rest of the game. And that has the potential to majorly swing things as we head late into this one. Here's Sterling trying to make the first part of the 1-1. In and out. Isaiah Danner grabs the rebound, so the Trojans avoid the potential danger there. Sweeney over to Richards, over to Guzman, back to Richards, back to Sweeney. So quick passing there by the Trojans. DeDonatis on Solomon. Richards at the top, who's going to try his luck from 3 and hits. That's a big 3 for the momentum. Logan Richards knocks it down. Some of his only points for this game. Now under 20 seconds left in the third quarter, Hershey back out to the 5-point lead that they had going into the half. Derek Guzman trying again for some tight defense on Shadoan, that time not called for the foul. Shadoan kicks to Solomon. Solomon's going to try and drive, puts it up over Richards, doesn't get it to go. DeDonatis comes away with it, is going to throw up the half-court basket, and doesn't get it to go at the buzzer. So even though Greencastle jumped out to a 1-point lead for a time in the third quarter, it's as you were from half to now. A quarter's passed, the Trojans still lead by 5. And it's all to play for now in the fourth quarter. It's anyone's game. Again, for Greencastle, they would love to win this game, probably would improve their rankings, their standing in the power rankings. And as it is, they are sitting 12th right now. The top 14 in 5A make it through to the playoffs. And so my amateur math would say that even with a loss, Greencastle should probably be all right and should probably maintain their playoff position, though it is without a shadow of a doubt that if they win, they will be in. They will have an away game, though, either way. For the Trojans, what's at stake for them is really the seeding. They are going to be in the playoffs. They sit 9th right now in 5A. Again, the top 14 make it, so it's not a question of will they be in. It's a question of where they will play and who they will play against. The Trojans have a game tomorrow, a rescheduled game against rival LD at Lower Dauphin. So they have 2 more games, including this one. They really need to win both. A loss in either will probably see them get an away game and somewhere between seeds 9 through 14 to start the playoffs. So the Trojans really want to be at home and want to get that favorable matchup to start the playoffs. They need this game if they want to do that. We're going to start the 4th quarter. Here's Shadowan working on Richards, throws it in to right against Eamon Callahan. It was inside to Horst, who got fouled. A hard foul by Joey Allender. So Horst will shoot 2. 14 seconds in to the 4th quarter. The first is off the mark. Again, Trojans cling to that 5-point lead. And here's the second. Gets it to go. The real danger now for the Trojans is that they're going to be that they're going to allow Greencastle to go into the double bonus, which is just 2 straight-up free throws. So they're only a couple fouls away from that mark, and if they get there, then it could spell real danger for the Trojans. Here's Richards in the corner working on Solomon. Tight against the baseline, trying to find a pass, and Solomon's able to steal that away. Playing some tightrope along the line, but throws it away. Moyer up to Sweeney now. Here's Moyer again. It kicks to Richards in the corner. Moyer back up to the top. And here's Sweeney looking for something. Can't find anything. Richards can't find anything either in the lane. Sweeney's going to try and go strong to the rim and draws the foul. Very few players on the Trojans who can possess that kind of strength and that kind of agility driving into the lane. Sweeney, not known for his shooting, has struggled from the line this season. First one doesn't go. He'll have one more shot at it, though.
Cameron Sweeney checking in for the Trojans.
Marcus' brother Cam checks in. And Marcus Sweeney misses the second free throw, so probably a smart foul by the Blue Devils not to allow Sweeney to walk in and get that layup. Here's Sterling working on Sweeney. Here's Solomon against Allender. That's been the matchup the entire game there. Some good hands by Joey Allender to make that a hard shot, and Sweeney comes away with it. It's going to be an easy layup for him. Gets it to go. A timeout called, a full timeout by Greencastle as the Trojans jumped out to this quarter, as have extended their lead by 1, about a minute and a half in. So 6:36 to go for the Trojans. And they're going to hold on to a 6-point lead. Seems to be some confusion on the floor as to the timeout that was called. And it looked like it was initially a full timeout by Greencastle. It is. Again, before the game tonight, Hershey honored teachers that have made a big impact in their seniors' lives. So each senior got to bring a teacher out on the court, say a few nice words about them. A nice moment for the Trojans who have been honoring their seniors the entire week. It was senior night on Tuesday. They beat East Pennsboro 73-49. DeDonatis, as he has been basically the entire season, was the leading scorer of that game. He scored 19. Trojans started a lineup of all 5 seniors tonight. Jake Moyer and AJ Slamans were rotated in from the usual suspects, Logan Richards and Eamon Callahan. But the Trojans have rotated in, I think, probably a good 10 players at this point.
At the end of the previous play, there was a technical foul assessed to the Blue Devils, number 4, Serzano Solomon. That goes as his 4th personal and the 3rd team foul of the second half. At the line for the Trojans, shooting 2 for the technical, number 38.
So you might have been able to hear that. Surzano Solomon was called for a technical at the end of the last play, which is why there was that confusion on the floor. They gave the full timeout to Greencastle, but now Joey Allender will shoot 2 free throws, 2 technical free throws. And he makes the first. A bit of a mistake there by Solomon, I think. In such a tight game, you can't be giving away free points. Allender, the Trojans' best free throw shooter, steps to the line, knocks down both, and they will get the ball too. So,
Following the technical free throws, it will be the Trojans' ball out of bounds.
yeah, it was a pretty massive mistake, actually, by Solomon. You really can't be giving away free points. The Trojans will have the ball now. It was initially supposed to be a Greencastle inbound. So, a lot of things going wrong in a short span of time for Solomon and the Blue Devils. So the Trojans now have an 8-point lead. 6.5 left in the game. Here's Eamon Callahan now. Jake Moyer, Cameron Sweeney, brother of Marcus, passes it to his brother. Callahan. Here's Cam. And Allender now. Over to Marcus Sweeney. And Eamon Callahan. The Trojans holding the ball now because some really good defense is being played by Greencastle-Antrim. Over to Callahan now. Cam Sweeney, Jake Moyer trying to get around. A reach and foul by Shadowan kind of breaks up that span of really, really solid defense. And the Trojans will be relieved that they have basically a fresh start at it because they were not finding anything. And here's Callahan, Sweeney now. Here's Callahan. So often in these moments, it's either G. Donatus, who's off the court, or Sweeney, who really makes some individual magic for the Trojans. Callahan and Allender. Here's Jake Moyer now. Moyer, the senior, the soccer star, speaking captain as he led the Trojans to their first state soccer championship. Shadowan gets called for another foul.
That's his 4th personal.
His 4th, so one more and he will foul out. 2 quick fouls here in the last minute of play. And Sweeney will inbound now. G. Donatus back into the game, by the way, for Eamon Callahan. Trojans going really small here on the court. An offensive foul is going to be called on the Trojans. Cameron Sweeney called for the foul. I'm not sure the Trojans have anyone over the height of about, 6'2" on the floor right now. And I think they really are trying to match up with Greencastle in the size department. The only player that I think anyone would consider a big man on the court right now is Wright, Connor Wright, the junior. Here's number 12, Jordan Hunt, who's working on Marcus Sweeney, and now Alvey working on Joey Allender. Greencastle coach thought that they were in a little bit of trouble, and he will call a timeout, be a full timeout. And the Trojans lead by 8 with about 5 minutes to go in the game. Earlier in the season, the Trojans were running a very, very short bench, and it was at this time in the game that it would really start to hinder them. An early game against Milton Hershey where they were up for basically the duration of the game, had a big lead heading into halftime. It was cut and cut and cut until Milton Hershey hit a buzzer beater 3 to win the game. And that was an early loss for the Trojans that really stung. And after that game, Coach Paul Blackburn said that he was going to try and expand his bench, go deeper, have more players on the court that can give some of those starters and some of those playmakers a rest. And that's exactly what he's done. To my count, 10 to 11 players have taken the court tonight, which at the beginning of the season was just unfathomable for the Trojans. All juniors and seniors for Hershey. Trojans going to walk out the same 5 that went into that timeout. I say all juniors and seniors except for Cameron Sweeney, who's a freshman and has been coming off the bench the entire year without fail for the Trojans. Also started towards the end of the year in football, an even tougher sport really to start in for freshmen. So his development process has really, really been advanced compared to most players of his age. And here he is trying to guard Hunt. Yeah, off the timeout, Blue Devils inbounded, and now it's Sterling. And Alvey working on Allender. Joey Allender, the Trojans' best defender, has taken so many fouls for the Trojans. So many steals as well. Sterling's going to try and pull up. He misses the jumper. Gets fouled in the air, though, by Marcus Sweeney. He'll head to the line for 2.
Trojans foul on number 3, Marcus Sweeney. That's his 4th personal, 10-15 foul.
Sweeney's 4th personal foul, so he's in some serious foul trouble as well. 4:41 to go, and so there is certainly time for Sweeney to foul out. And yeah, no surprise, Isaiah Danner will come in for Marcus Sweeney. Not a like-for-like substitution, but one really forced by the fact that Paul Blackburn does not want Marcus Sweeney, one of his stars, to foul out with a significant portion of time remaining in the game. The second free throw doesn't go for Sterling. But as DiDonatis tried to claim that rebound, he stepped out, so Greencastle will have another shot at it. Blake Shadowan back in for Greencastle. He's the player for the Blue Devils that's on 4 fouls, akin to Sweeney. Sterling throws it in now to Wright, being double-teamed. Sterling gets it back, though, kicks it out. Shadowan trying to find the cross-court pass to Solomon. And here's Wright. Wright throws it up. No foul called, just missed the layup. And Joey Allender will have a chance to walk it up now on Connor Wright. Connor Wright called for the reach around.
Blue Devils foul on number 14, Connor Wright.
So Trojans now in the bonus 2, and that'll be a sigh of relief. An absolute sigh of relief for the Trojans, because now they can start to shoot their free throws. The next foul will put them to the line. Cameron Sweeney is going to get back his own inbound and working on Sterling now, as his brother has the entire game. Kicks out to Jake Moyer. Moyer also not really a sharpshooter, not really someone who tries his luck from 3 that often. Back to Sweeney. And here's Allender at the top. Trojans going very small besides Isaiah Danner right now. Foul called on Sterling. So Cam Sweeney's going to head to the line. Has a chance at a 1-and-1. Now less than half the 4th quarter left, and the Trojans have a 7-point lead. Slowly and steadily, they've been increasing their lead over the course of the game. It was 4 points after the first, 5 points after the second, 6 points after the third. Now they lead by 7. Cameron Sweeney misses the first, and so here's Sterling coming away, trying to get something to go, but more good defense by Allender doesn't allow a clean shot. And the Trojans get the ball back. Cam Sweeney draws the foul on Sterling. Talking to Paul Blackburn, the Hershey coach, he could not say enough about Allender's defense, saying that even last year as a junior, Allender would come off the bench and would sometimes guard the opponent's best player. And this continued into the playoffs as well when Hershey made a run into the States. So for Joey Allender, defense has never been the question. He's always been absolutely stellar in that regard. Cam Sweeney drew that foul in the backcourt, so he has another shot at 1-and-1. Once again, misses the first. So the Trojans could really have a much bigger lead now if they had been hitting their free throws, but they have not been, and so Solomon has the ball now and a chance to work down 7. Blocked by Isaiah Danner, but the foul called as Solomon made that drive to the rim. So he will get to shoot 2.
Number 34, Isaiah Danner, his 3rd personal. The Trojans are over the limit. At the line for the Blue Devils, shooting 2. Number 4, Serzano Solomon.
So there's what the Trojans have kind of been dreading, I think, for the entire half, as it became clear that they were in some deep foul trouble. They're in the double bonus now, I believe. So any foul, and Greencastle goes to the line for 2 free throws. Solomon missed the first, but it's really the damage that can be done from this point forward from the charity stripe. Solomon's going to have a chance at a second to cut it to 6. Nope, that's not good either. I believe that's a free throw violation. You got to wait for the ball to hit the rim. I don't believe that Wright did. And so the Trojans will get a chance to inbound. Here's Sweeney. Successfully dealt with the full court press. Wright grabs DiDonatis. I'm not really sure. I think that might have just been to steady himself. So DiDonatis will head to the line. to shoot a 1-and-1. Trojans are 2 fouls away from also being in the double bonus. Still with that 7-point lead. DiDonatis misses the first. This has been a string of really bad free throw shooting by both teams. So now it's Solomon now, kicking to Shadoan. Tries his luck from 3, no good. A little bit of a funky rebound, but it's grabbed by Moyer. And here's DiDonatis trying to push quick. Ahead to Eamon Callahan, who, okay, so Eamon Callahan dropped the ball. He picked it back up, put in the layup, but they're going to call the contact on him before he went up to shoot. So he will go to the line, but it'll be for a 1-and-1. The basket won't count, and he has to make the first.
That's his 4th personal, 10th team foul.
We all make mistakes. I think the ref was just a little slow to blow the whistle there, and that led to that confusion.
Logan Alvey in for the Blue Devils. At the line for the Trojans, shooting 1 more.
So I believe that the Trojans went into the double bonus with that foul on Callahan. So he will have a chance at the second, even though it was not a shooting foul. Again, that basket does not count. So with 2:58 left in the game, Hershey has a 7-point lead, and they're going to try and see this thing out. It's been pretty tight the entire way. Neither team has bounced out to a big lead. The Trojans often do, and never really got out to a lead, I don't think, of more than 10 for the entire course of the game. So they've had some things to stress about over the course of this one, but they still have a 7-point lead as we head into really the final stretch at this point. Eamon Callahan will have another free throw to go here. Try and extend the lead to 8 points for the Trojans. Trojans, again, need this game if they want any chance at a home game in the playoffs. Right now, they would not be sitting with a home game. Number 9 in 5A, the top 8 get home games. Here's Callahan's second. He does sink it. Finally, a free throw gets made. It's been a long time coming now, and the Trojans now lead by 8. Both teams over the limit for the double bonus. Both teams, if they get a foul, will shoot 2 at the line. Some good defense being played, but Cam Sweeney grabs Sterling right about as he was about to take the shot. Sterling will head to the line for 2.
Trojans foul on number 2, Cameron Sweeney. His 3rd personal.
Marcus Sweeney, 4 fouls, about to check back in for his brother Cam. First one made by Sterling. So here comes that substitution. Sweeney's going to have to be careful. Still enough time for Greencastle to do damage. Definitely can't be thinking about taking that that last and final foul yet, because he might need to keep that thing in the bag for later in the game. Sterling hits both, so it seems like coming out of the timeout, some better free throw shooting. DiDonatis unsuccessfully inbounded it, but lucky for the Trojans, it was knocked away, and they will retain possession. Again, following the conclusion of the game, we're going to try and get you some kind of interview or some kind of quote from a Hershey player. We'll see if we're able to do that. Hershey High School broadcaster, not exactly ESPN, not exactly a major media outlet. Once again, the Trojans, with some good passing, work through that full court press. Can be dangerous at this point in the game. So Jake Moyer has it, kicks DiDonatis in the corner. A foul called on Greencastle. Sterling.
Foul on number 3, Eli Sterling. His 3rd personal. The Blue Devils are over the limit. At the line for the Trojans, shooting 2. Number 11, Matthew DiDonatis.
DiDonatis going to have a shot at 2 free throws. Misses the first.
Returning for the Trojans.
Seems to be a bit snake bitten at this point. Can't seem to buy a free throw. Gets another shot at it. Doesn't get to go either. For such a good shooter, Matthew DiDonatis seems to have the yips from the free throw line, but I'm sure that can be corrected with time. Solomon working on Allender. And here's Wright working on Callahan, the 2 big men. Shadoan trying his luck from 3. He hits. That's a big 3. Cuts the lead to 3. So the Trojans still have it, but now will be much tighter. And they get through the press. Here's DiDonatis now to Moyer. 2 minutes left in the game. The Trojans clinging on to a 3-point lead. Solomon called for a foul. I think he forgot that Jake Moyer will head to the line for 2. Solomon, along with Shadone, one of the players on 4 fouls. That was now his 5th. He's fouled out. So that's pretty good luck for the Trojans. Get one of Greencastle, seem to be bellwethers, one of their starters off the court. Jake Moyer hits the first free throw. That's big for him. Again, a player that isn't known as a scorer, more known as a tenacious defender, a good passer of the ball, a hard worker, the senior that led Hershey to their first state soccer championship. Callahan grabs the offensive rebound after Moyer missed the second, and so he'll head to the line now. A really smart play by Eamon Callahan to stay alert there. Give the Trojans another shot to hit 2 more and extend the lead. It's now 4 points. And Callahan makes it 5. Circling back to Solomon, probably for the last time in this one. He's a junior, so these were his last regular season minutes for this year, but he will be back next year. Callahan makes the first and misses the second just like Moyer, but Moyer gets the rebound. And so the Trojans have it again. Allender, it looked like that was an attempt at a foul, and they do get the foul, an intentional foul. It seems like Greencastle's in that time right now where they want to be fouling the Trojans, sending them to the line, and hoping that they can capitalize on some Trojan misses from the line. Might have been a mistake, though, because they fouled the Trojans' best free throw shooter. I believe he's now 5 for 5, so you got to be smart about who you foul. Allender try and stay perfect here from the line. Trojans lead by 6, so they've gotten that lead back. And he does indeed stay perfect. It's back up to a 7-point lead for the Trojans. Pretty low-scoring contest in this one, 50-43. Now 1:45 left in the game. They really need a basket here. Greencastle does. And Sterling will have it now in the corner. He tries to force one up over Allender. Doesn't hit. It is Marcus Sweeney, who does get fouled. He is a player that I think Greencastle will be trying to foul. He's not had too much success from the free throw stripe this year. And these will be some big ones. Try and keep the Trojans' hopes of a home game alive as they lead by 7 here, and the last home game of the regular season. Sweeney hits the first. That's a really big free throw. Gets it back up to an 8-point lead for the Trojans. It's start to take a sigh of relief, though certainly not over yet. Greencastle has not really shown that they've been able to produce that much quick offense so far in this game. Those are 2 massive free throws by Marcus Sweeney. It's now a 9-point lead. And so at bare minimum, Greencastle's going to need 3 possessions to keep themselves alive in this game. Kicks to Hunt in the corner. Hunt up top to Wright. Wright can't find anything, and now tries to throw one up over Callahan. Doesn't get it. Wright fouls Callahan. So with 1:17, Eamon Callahan's going to get a chance to make this a 4-possession game. Wright now fouls out. Another junior for Greencastle that, regardless of what happens this season, he'll be back.
Number 24,
Eamon Callahan, the junior for the Trojans, will have 2 free throws. Makes the first. It's a 10-point lead now for Hershey. They're probably their largest lead of the game. Definitely their largest lead of this half. They can start to breathe a little easier than they have been for basically the entire game. Callahan in and out on the second one. That's unfortunate for him. It's still a 10-point lead for the Trojans, and Sterling will walk it up on Allender. Marcus Sweeney been taken off the ball so he doesn't pick up that 5th foul. Shadone's going to try and force a 3. He doesn't get any contact, doesn't make the 3, and Allender's going to run away with it. They seem to be trying to intentionally foul him, and there's the foul on Sterling. Not the player, again, that you want to be fouling, a player who's perfect from the charity stripe in this game. And that seems to be a bit of the beginning of the end in this one. Hershey looking like, as long as they don't collapse in the last minute of this one, they're going to walk away with a win. Allender stays perfect. Greencastle-Antrim going to call the full timeout before Allender shoots his second, but at this point, it's an 11-point lead for the Trojans.
Switch to using this and then just go now.
We're going to try and get you that interview. I'm going to try and head down here with a wireless mic and see if we can pick up anyone from the Trojans following this game. A little under a minute to go here. So Joey Allender is going to have another free throw here to try and make it a 12-point game. Trojans done a really good job in these last couple minutes of playing some really solid defense and putting this one almost out of reach. Allender, he stays perfect from the stripe. By my count, that's 8 for 8. Those have all come in massive. Trojans lead by 12, less than a minute to go. Greencastle going to check in, I think probably some of their seniors as we head in to the final stretch. Floater made, though. Alvey, some of his only points of the game. He makes that one. Trojans get it back to Sweeney. Throw it ahead to Dianatis, who's going to try and get the layup. He doesn't get it to go. Again, uncharacteristic for Dianatis not to be making that layup. Here's Sterling pushing the tempo, trying to get the drive. He doesn't get a foul, doesn't get the basket. Allender's going to be fouled, and that's going to just about do it.
Blue Devils foul. Number 13, Adam Hurst. That's his 5th personal.
And I'm going to try and head down here towards the end of this one and try and get a free throw, and try and get a interview here as Allender heads to the free throw line.
At the line for the Trojans, shooting 2, number 31, Joey Allender.
Number 20, Shadowan, who we've been talking about for most of the game. That's Blake Shadowan. His brother Brendan, also a senior, is going to check in here at the end. I think it does remain to be seen. I believe Greencastle-Antrim will probably be all right and will probably remain in the playoff picture. But if they don't, these will be their seniors' final minutes of their high school careers. Knocked away by Moyer, and it'll be Trojans' ball. Allender's going to walk it up here, 10 seconds left. And it ends up being a pretty comfortable one in the end for the Trojans. They're going to win this one by a score of 57-45. A good win, all things being told, for the Trojans. They're going to move to 15-6 on the season. And we'll try and get someone to talk to here at the end of this one. Greencastle's going to finish their regular season 13-8. Not a bad regular season at all. Currently sitting 12th in the power rankings, and we'll see how that develops over the course of these next couple of hours. Okay. We'll see if we can get Paul Blackburn here for the Trojans. Okay, we're going to be able to talk to Hershey Trojans head coach Paul Blackburn. Okay, so we're going to be looking up there. So, Coach Blackburn, congratulations on the good win. You guys moved to 15-6 on the season. Coming to this game, what were your expectations of Greencastle?
Well, we knew they had to win this game to give themselves a good chance of getting into the playoffs. They were 13-6 or so coming in. We knew they were a good program, and we knew they were physical, and we knew we had a big challenge on our hands. So we knew it was going to be a tight ball game like it was. I'm really proud of the guys for how they handled themselves tonight.
Yeah, and finally, what were some positives that you saw from this team as we head into tomorrow's big game against LD?
Our depth. I think that different guys step up on a different and I think we have a lot of interchangeable parts, and I think that the balance and just the general team spirit is good right now, as far as how we guard people and how we share the basketball, and on any given anybody in a Hershey uniform can help us win, and that's kind of our attitude going forward.
Well, thank you, Coach. Congratulations, and good luck tomorrow. So that's going to do it here at Hershey High School. It's the Hershey Broadcasters presentation of Hershey High School boys basketball. It finishes the Hershey Trojans 57, the Greencastle-Antrim Blue Raiders 45. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.